Hi everybody, it's Christina and thank you for joining me. So the main focus for today's card is this designer card front, and this is the half teardrop one. There are other designs in the series, but this is the one that I'm going to use today. Now my colour scheme is going to be white base cards with orange flowers and white flowers and 2 shades of green for the leaves. So in this video I'm going to make various cards. These 2 are A5. I'm going to keep one landscape and one portrait. This is the DL card. This is the back to a 5x7, and this one is just have a look. Yeah, it's a little bit narrower than the A5. It's the same length, just a little bit narrower. So that's another one. Now for each of these cards I've created a top layer, and that's going to be embossed in a folder. And the folder that I'm using is this one, which is the Flourishes folder from Card Making Magic. So for the one that's just a little bit narrower than the A5, that's my top layer for that one. For my DL one, I've cut 2 panels in orange, in the 2 different shades of orange. So one is the darker one is the lighter one, and I've embossed that in the folder. Now for the one that is the back panel to the 5x7, I've cut a slightly smaller one in orange and another one in white, and that's been embossed in the folder. Now for this one I have cut a dark orange panel and a paler orange panel, and that's been embossed in the folder. And for this one I have cut a dark orange panel and a white one, and the white one's been embossed in the folder. So there are all my base cards now, ready to have additions put on them. So if you look at these 2 dies, they've got a score line in the middle of them. Now when you've cut those, that's your score line, which means you can bend that around. So I've cut an orange one for this, and using the plainer one I've cut 2 white ones for my 5x7. Now I know they're too big, but there is a reason for that. So they're going to sit on there, and they're going to be placed nice and level on that card. So we can glue these in place right away. So let's just fasten this down. We'll add this to the bright orange card, and then we'll add that to the base. And we'll leave just a little border around all the edges. Now this is going to be fastened onto this. There's the side panel. That's going to fasten onto there so that it's level with the card. So we'll just add glue along this flap, and we'll add that to the card. So still for this card, using this stitched edge, I've cut a panel that will sit there, and then using the scalloped one and this, I have cut another layer, one in plain orange and the other one in white, and then I've added this panel to it, and that's going to give me that layer that sits along there. And I've alternated the colours so that that looks really pretty when it's done. So that's going to be glued in place. Now for this one I have used the stitched edge and the scalloped one. There we are, the stitched edge and the scallop die, and that's been put through the embossing folder, and that's going to sit along there, and that's the DL card. So let's just get these 2 put into place, and then we'll do the rest. So So again, we'll just leave a small border. And that will dry clear, and we'll put this one in place. So there's two that we've got made, or the base is ready. Now if you wanted to add these together, then obviously because they're cut the same, they will both face the same way. So you can add them like that to your card if you wish. But if you wanted to turn them around and have one facing the other way, then you would have to turn everything round and glue it that way. And that would give you that pattern. So now when you add these, it will look like that. So we're going to turn this 5x7 into a gatefold. Now this is just one layer at the moment. There's the other layer, but we're not adding that till we've added the gatefolds. So let's just put this around here, and it needs to be equal. And once we've got them level, we can then add our glue to this line, to this, and glue them to the card. Now I know the bases are curved, but we're going to sort that out in just a little while. So we'll make sure that they're still level, and we'll add this one to the card. So again, with the stitch die and the trellis one, I have cut my panel, but I want this to face the other way, and so I'm going to have to turn it over and glue that in place, and then that can be added to this panel on the other side of the gatefold. So once you've done that and your gatefolds are level, because of the curve, that card will not stand. So what you're going to need to do is trim that off nice and neatly with your scissors or with your cutter, and create a nice flat base for that to stand. And now because you've done that, your card will stand. Now for the back panel to the card, I've run this through the folder, and I'm going to add some glue, and I'm going to fit that to the back. And now the workings to that back piece can't be seen. Now for the last card, I'm using this die. This is also in the set, and I've cut this several times in the orange and the white. So that's going to sit along there. And all that we'll have in the middle of it is a sentiment and maybe some flowers. For this one, and I can get them undone, for this one I'm going to create a belly band, and that's going to wrap around the card just to keep it closed. So we'll just bend that over, not too tight because you need to be able to slide that on and off your card. And then on this side we'll match in these other flowers that will sit along there, and that will create the belly band that will keep that gatefold card closed. Now for this one I've also cut a white one, and this was also a wraparound one. We'll use an orange one, and to finish that off I'm going to add that in to this portion along the back, and that will just give a nice neat finish to the back of the card. So once you have these strips cut, you can decide what you want to do with them. Now you can either add a drop shadow and add them to your card. You can do it the other way around if you wish and add those to your card. You can stagger them and add them to your card, or you can layer them. Now it's up to you what you do with these beautiful dies. So we can do this down the centre. We can have them all going the same way if we wish to create a panel in the middle. That is entirely up to you. So there are lots of different ways that you can use this particular die, as I've shown you. Create the belly band, finish the back off. Now for this card I've joined two pieces of white together and I'm going to wrap that with some orange ribbon. I've put foam tape on the back which will just raise it up a little bit from the card base. So we'll add our ribbon in and then we'll add this to the card. So the ribbon's going to hide the join in there, and this will hide the join in the two panels. So that's going to sit there, and then I'll tie a bow and add a bow to that. Now these are all now ready to be decorated with flowers and anything else that you want to add. So I'll sort out some things that I'm going to add to these cards and then I'll come back to you. So from the die set I've cut all the flowers and leaves that I need. I've also used other die sets to cut the leaves, and I've used the Rose Flourish and the Daisy Flourish. I have some foam flowers that I'm going to use. I also have some silk flowers. So I'm going to put these together in a dry run and see what I like before I start to glue them in place. Decorated the inside. I've put happy birthday in it. Don't forget to take the belly band off before you start to glue things to it. I've dotted some pearls around the cards, and all I need to do now is just add some glitter to the flowers. So there are my cards, not done in my usual colour scheme of pink, but I just thought we'd give orange a try for a change. So we've done a DL which I've decided to use in landscape. I've done one with a loose flap on it. You could add a sentiment under there. You can also glue that down if you wish. We've got the landscape A5, we've got the one with the belly band on it there, and this is a taller one with the hinge at the top. And that's just used the border die that's in the set. So the items that I've used to create my cards have been the Special Words die set. I've used the Rose Flourish and the Daisy Flourish, and I've used the Flourish embossing folder. But the main die that I've used in this card is the half teardrop designer card front. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please join me on the next one, and why not subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell so that you never miss a video. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.